crawling back to me on her hands and knees. And the other guy was intrigued. He said, oh? He said, well, what happened after that? He said, she said to me, come on out from under that bed and fight like a man, you coward. So ladies, that is what's going through my mind. But I want you to know I did hear the marvelous songs that were sung. Oh my goodness, just to be reminded of God's grace. Isn't that exceptional to be reminded of God's grace and to be in the presence of the Lord and to enjoy a good time of fellowship? We're going to have a great time today. We're going to have a great time in Bible study. But I just want to tell you, you have already blessed me beyond measure. Dr. Letson said it himself when he said the tables look incredible. I can already tell that you love the Lord and that you love His Word and that you love people just from seeing those table decorations. My husband and I were blessed to get here early enough yesterday. We walked through, we looked at all of the tables, and I'm telling you, somebody has great creativity to think about putting flowers in boots. That was just incredible, and I could just go on and on with the tables. You have blessed me beyond measure. I wish I had time to sit down and have coffee with each of you, because I think if we could do that, we would find that we have a lot in common. I think that we are soul-to-soul sisters, soul-to-soul friends, kindred spirits. I can tell there's some kindred spirits in this room, and I've already been introduced to you by Judy, but I want to tell you a couple or three things that I like, just by way of introduction, so that you'll know that I'm a lot like you are. I think we're kindred spirits here today. One of the things that I like chocolate. Anybody else? Woo-hoo! We like chocolate, don't we? We like chocolate. We haven't applauded God yet, but we're going to applaud chocolate. How about that? My motto, if you go to my website, is something like this. For those times days when things are bad and getting worse, hold on to your faith for sure. But keep a little chocolate in your purse. Anybody else? Any amens to that? Amen. I have chocolate in my purse or in my desk drawer most of the time. I run on a slow chocolate infusion. I just can't help it. I'm kind of like the woman that my husband and I were sitting next to at dinner one night. She and her husband were at the table next to us. She had finished her dinner and she wanted to talk to her waitress about what kinds of desserts might be available that night. But she prefaced it with this: I'd really like something thick and rich, something very chocolatey. And so the waitress said, oh, I have just the thing for you. She said, it is a hot brownie covered with ice cream, slathered with chocolate syrup, and some chocolate chips sprinkled on the top. Ooh, the woman thought that sounded pretty good. And the waitress said, she said, it is to die for. She said, in fact, we call it death by chocolate. Y'all had this, haven't you? You know what I'm talking about. And so the woman sat back and she thought about it for a minute. She said, death by chocolate. Well, I don't know if I'm all up for that or not, but could you bring me enough to just put me in a slight coma? A chocolate-induced coma. I like chocolate. That is one thing I like. Another thing I like is coffee. Anybody? We got some sisters in the house this morning. I'm telling you, I like a good cup of coffee. I love the Lord and I love spending time with God in the morning, but sometimes I just need another kick in the pants, you know, one of those Java Jolts, just to keep me going a little bit. I like coffee. A friend and I love going to Starbucks on Thursday afternoon. Starbucks, okay, y'all are kindred spirits, I'm telling you. And so we like going to Starbucks on Thursday afternoon. If it's wintertime, we might have a cinnamon dolce latte. If it's summertime, we might have the chocolate chip frappuccino. But I look forward to those Thursdays afternoon and having coffee with my friend. One day she called me though and she said, Donna, she said, I noticed I'm beginning to have the shakes. I'm beginning to have the shakes after I have my coffee. You know, horror came into my spirit there for a minute because I said to her, I said, well, what does that mean? Are you going to have to give up coffee altogether or perhaps give up caffeine? Or are we going to have to stop going to Starbucks on Thursday? And she said, oh, no, Donna, you don't understand. She said, if it wasn't for the jitters, I would get no exercise